Okay? So that is a portion of the circle's circumference. All right? Now, for those that don't know, the Knights of the Round Table sat at a round table because one of the knights was circumference, okay? So maybe you didn't know that. That's just a fun fact. But anyway, let's move on to example 1, and we'll see how we find arc length. Because I haven't given you a formula yet. We're going to kind of derive the formula here. So despite my best effort, and before I updated the Notability to draw perfect circles, this is my attempt at a perfect circle. As you can see, it has many imperfections, as do all humans, so it's very relevant. And we see that this is 90 degrees. The two radiuses form a 90-degree angle, and we're asked to find how many feet is this portion of the circumference. Okay? The clue is the 90 degrees and the 4 feet. Those are our two clues. So we have 90 degrees, 4 feet. What do we do? Well, if we're looking for the portion of the whole circumference to find our arc length, then we probably should find the whole circumference. To do that, we're going to say circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Now, for this lesson, I'm going to leave everything in terms of pi, which is okay. At times, I may convert it over into decimal form so you can see what the answer would look like without pi. But just imagine the answers I come up with, if it says, like, for example, 10 times pi, you know, it's about 31.4. So anything you get in front of the pi symbol, it's about 3 times bigger in terms of the distance, okay? But anyway, I just wanted to give you the heads up. So we have 2 times pi times the radius, which is 4 feet. So our answer is going to be 8 pi, and the units feet. It's a distance, okay? So this is our circumference. That's not our final answer, though, because we don't have the whole circle. We have a quarter of a circle, okay? Notice how it looks like, I have a quarter of a circle. Okay. Now, let's say, how do you know it's a quarter of a circle? Well, if that's 90 degrees, we already said that's out of the total 360 degrees. What percentage is that? Well, if we reduce the fraction, it's 1 over 4. So our answer isn't going to be 8 pi. We still have some work to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say our arc length, AL, is equal to 8 pi times 90 over 360, or 1 over 4, okay? So 8 pi times 1 over 4, we get 2 pi feet, and that is the distance. Okay, so this is our answer to that arc length. Okay, now might be a good time to pause to catch up, but otherwise I am moving on for the sake of this video's time. And as you can see, I'm already running out of battery. I'm at 24%. That's okay. It's being used. Better than just staying at 100% all the time. Okay, so here we go. Example 2, we're asked to find this major arc here. Okay, we're asked to find the arc length of this on the outside. Okay. Again, what we need to find is we need to find the circumference. Okay, so we're going to find the circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius equals 2 times pi times 14. Okay, so then we have 28 pi. I'm sorry, 14 would be twice the radius. I did that in my head. So 7, so we get 14 pi. Okay, we all make mistakes. Don't yell at me, please. And that is centimeters. That's the whole circumference. Now, what portion are we looking for? We're not looking for the whole circumference, the whole portion of the circle. We're only looking for 250 degrees out of 360. Okay, so our arc length is going to be equal to 14 pi times 250 over 360. Okay, so I can reduce this. I can get 14 pi times, I can reduce it to 25 over 36, only divisible by 5, only divisible by 6, 9, 4. It looks like they don't have any. That's as most reduced as we can go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 14 pi times 25 to get 350 pi and leave it over 36. And that would be my answer. Now, let's say you're not satisfied with what that means. That's okay. I will multiply this out and tell you what I get in terms of decimal form, just so you can kind of see what that might be. I just did that quick on my calculator, and I got 30.54, what are my units? Centimeters. It's a measure of distance, and there we go. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, you never came up with a formula yet. Well, let's come up with a formula. The formula would then be for arc length, okay, you already kind of guessed it. We know we're going to be using 2 pi r. 2 pi r, which is the circumference, times the arc measure divided by 360 degrees, because that's the total number of angles in a circle. Okay, so we have our handy-dandy arc length formula here. You can never go wrong, but of course don't need to memorize the formula. Just understand the process, and you won't need to use the formula. All right, stay tuned for 10.7. That's coming up next, right after these messages.